Hey dolls, your girl has finally did it. I finally figured out how to make these units look like it's literally growing out your scalp while gluing it down. I've tried a new method in this video and I think I perfected it. If you want to know how I did it, make sure you stay tuned. Okay, so to start off a great install, you're gonna need to start with a good unit. And as always, you guys know, Hairvivi delivers one of the best quality units, hands down. Guys, go ahead and take a look at that hairline. The hairline is already plucked to perfection. The lace on the unit, as most Hairvivi lace, are just bomb. Wait till you see when I put it on how clear it is. But before I do that, I want to show you guys what the inside of the unit looks like. It's the standard wig constructions with the 2 combs in the side, 1 in the back. However, Hairvivi does have the piano key elastic band, which helps the unit to fit a little bit more comfortable on your head. Now guys, look at this hairline. As you guys can see, it's plucked. You don't need to do anything to it. And the lace is so clear, you barely can see the lace on my skin. So a good install begins with a good unit. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now I'm just really obsessing over this hairline. So I'm just making sure y'all really could get into this. But here's the gag. So I'm trying a new method. So what I did was something that I don't normally do for a Hairvivi unit is I actually went in and I plucked one side of this unit. Now I decided to do one side because I wanted to leave it as comparison, and you guys could be the determining judge to see whether or not you feel like that extra pluck was necessary. But I'll explain a little bit later on why I did that. So I'm kind of over plucking this unit more than I normally would because, as I mentioned, Hairvivi units usually come pre-plucked and ready to install. So I just want to let you guys see what the unit looked like on the left side where I plucked it compared to how the unit looked when I received it. Now, of course, some people like that balding, I'm losing my edges look for their wigs. Hey, to each his own. If that's the type of look you're going for, have at it. Pluck the unit as much as you want. So the next thing you're going to need to do is make sure you clean the skin with alcohol. Make sure it's free of any oil and makeup before we begin applying the glue. Next, I placed the unit on my head so that I could mentally mark the placement on where I wanted to apply the glue. So for today's install, I decided to forego wearing a ball cap or any stocking cap for that matter. And I'm going to just lay this unit down on top of my hair. For today's application, I am using Erica J's Hold Me Down glue. This is my first time trying it, and I actually can say that I really do like it. Be careful when applying the glue because you don't want to get the glue on your hair. Gluing unit is not really one of the things that I enjoy doing because I always have issues with either the white from the glue showing underneath the lace or the glue not sticking. I just always usually run into some type of issue, but I can say that this install was fairly easy. And I don't know if it's just come from me practicing applying glue a little bit more or if it comes from the glue. But I can say that I was very happy with its use. It's a little bit pricey, so the small one was all I could afford. I'm using a popsicle stick to just spread the glue along my forehead, and I'm spreading it back because I don't want to make the glue go too far down my forehead because I am going to be sure and place that lace in front of the glue, and I just really hate when my wigs are too down on my forehead. I know some people like that look, but for me, I just don't like it. Even though in hindsight I do think I could have pushed this unit a little bit farther on my forehead, but I digress. So I decided to go for 3 coats for today's install because I did intend on wearing this unit for a few days and I wanted to make sure it stayed on. So once the 10 minutes is up, this is what the unit looked like once I took it off. Okay, y'all, so pay attention because this is what I did different for this install. First off, you want to use a razor to cut the hairline. I first started off using my regular eyebrow razor, but that one was dull, and you want to make sure that you use a very sharp razor. Now, I'm going from cutting it on the bottom to cutting it on the top. You're going to notice my hand changes positions because I'm just trying to make sure that I get a really good grip and I don't cut myself. And the key to what I'm doing different when I'm cutting this lace is that I'm cutting it slightly behind the hairline. So typically I cut the lace without cutting the hairline, but I noticed that to get that look of the hair looking like it's literally coming from out of your scalp, if you cut it behind the lace, and I just did it slightly, and because I did it slightly, that's why I didn't necessarily need to over pluck that side too much, because I didn't take off too much, but I took off just enough to where I'm cutting it behind the lace. And I'm just gonna let you guys watch and see how I did it, and I just repeated the same thing on the other side. And then once I was finished, I just went on top of the forehead where I didn't have any makeup, and I reapplied my makeup to get it all to blend. And then I'm just parting the hair in the middle, and I'm using my wax stick to lay down the hair on top. So for this install, I decided to go with the middle part that it initially came with, even though you'll see towards the end that I did eventually change to a side part. So this part remains the same. You just go ahead on top of the hair and you apply the wax stick, and then you comb on top of that using the hot comb, and that's going to make everything lay down nice and neat. And you want to make sure that you do that across from the front to the back as well, to make sure there's no lumps and bumps on the hair. And now, instead of using like the black hairspray that is sometimes used to kind of clean up that parting area, I have recently started using this, what is this, Clairol? I don't remember the name of it. I'll have it linked in the description box down below. I saw Eric and Tay use it, so I started using it, and it works a lot easier to apply on yourself, because with the hairspray, it works easy if you're doing it on someone else, but when you're doing it on yourself, it's really hard to not get that black hairspray on the lace. And I'm just gonna add like a couple of curls in this unit. I'm not really doing nothing too major. I had some place to go, per usual. I didn't really want to add too many curls, but I did need to add something because it's a middle part, y'all. Y'all know I don't really like the middle part, even though I've really been doing a lot more middle parts lately, a lot more than usual. It still stands to remain that side parts just look better on me. Go on top of that using some of my hair sheen to give this hair a little bit of shine. And this is what my scalp is looking like. Now, I will say, I went on a date, and my date said, and I quote, he said, "I don't usually like lace fronts, but this looks good. This looks real natural." So when I tell you it was given scalp, believe me, it was given scalp, okay? But you know, it's a Hairvivi unit, so it makes everything a lot more easy. You guys saw I didn't have to bleach, I didn't have to pluck, even though I did pluck a little, but it wasn't necessary, because honestly, I'm looking at it, I really didn't see much difference between the side that I plucked and the side that I left alone. It looks very nice and natural. This is a nice natural length. I don't know how long it is. But everything, as always, will be listed in the description box down below. So dolls, if you are looking for a realistic wig that comes pre-plucked, bleached, and ready to install, then this is the unit for you. So I'm going to just give you guys a close-up so you could really get an idea of how natural and realistic this hairline was looking in real life. And as I mentioned, I did turn around and turn this into a side part just because that's just my preference. So you can wear this middle, side part, however you choose to rock your unit. But babes, y'all already know the drill. Before we get out of here, I'm gonna need y'all help naming this wig. What do you think we should call her? Honestly, this, in my opinion, hands down one of the best installs I've ever done. I need a good one, dolls. Go ahead and leave your name suggestions in the comment section down below. And I did pick a name for the unit I reviewed last week. The new name, as well as the person who submitted the name, will be listed across the screen. Dolls, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already part of the Faithful fam, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave. And as always important, until next time, you guys stay blessed. And if it be God's will, I'll see you in my next video. Take care now.